Welcome. Today we journey back 2,000 years to the dusty roads of ancient Galilee. We are exploring the life of a man whose words redefined love and whose actions changed the course of human history. Jesus of Nazareth, known to many as Issa Masih. His story isn't just a record of the past. For millions in the United States and around the world, it is a living map for how to treat one another with kindness, humility, and unwavering faith. Let's begin where the stars aligned over a small town called Bethlehem. In the US, we often celebrate Christmas with lights and music, but the original story began in total silence. Mary and Joseph were travelers with nowhere to stay. When the time came for Jesus to be born, there was no room in the inn. Think about that for a moment. The King of Kings was born in a stable, surrounded by animals. His first bed was a manger, a feeding trough. This set the tone for his entire life. He didn't come for the powerful or the wealthy, he came for the humble. As he grew up in Nazareth, he worked as a carpenter. He knew the value of hard work and the weight of a common life. But at age 30, everything changed. He walked into the Jordan River to be baptized, and as he emerged, a voice from heaven declared, "This is my beloved Son." His mission had officially begun. Jesus began to travel from village to village. He didn't hang out in palaces. Instead, he sat at tables with people society had rejected: the poor, the sick, and the sinners. His teaching was radical. In his famous Sermon on the Mount, he flipped the world's logic upside down. He said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, and love your enemies." In a world that demanded an eye for an eye, Jesus taught a different way: grace. He used stories called parables to explain deep truths. Imagine him telling the story of the prodigal son, a boy who wastes his father's money and runs away, only to be welcomed back with a hug and a party when he returns home. This was Jesus' way of saying, no matter how lost you feel, God is waiting for you with open arms. As his fame grew, so did the reports of his miracles. In America, we love stories of heroes helping the underdog, and that is exactly what Jesus did. One day he was on a boat during a massive storm. His followers were terrified, but Jesus simply stood up and said, "Peace, be still," and the wind stopped instantly. He showed that he had authority over nature, but his most famous miracles were personal. He touched the skin of lepers when no one else would. He gave sight to a man born blind. He even fed 5,000 hungry people with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 small fish. He wasn't performing for fame, he was moved by compassion. He saw people's pain and he healed it. Eventually, his message of love challenged the authorities. During his final meal, the Last Supper, he washed his disciples' feet, showing that a true leader is a servant. He was arrested and taken to a cross. Even in his final moments of physical agony, his character didn't break. He looked at the people who had hurt him and prayed, "Father, forgive them." He gave up his life voluntarily, believing that his sacrifice would bridge the gap between humanity and God once and for all. It seemed like the end of a beautiful story. But 3 days later, the story took its most famous turn. The tomb was empty. Jesus had risen from the grave. This resurrection is why millions celebrate Easter every year. It represents the hope that light is stronger than darkness, and life is stronger than death. Before he ascended to heaven, He told his followers to spread this message of love to every corner of the earth. And so, the story that began in a small stable continues today, in every act of charity, every prayer for peace, and every heart that chooses to forgive. The life of Issa Masih is a reminder that the greatest power in the universe isn't gold or weapons, it is love.